Hello, my name is Connor Naughton, and today I will be giving you a current business strategy report on an article I found very interesting. The article that we're discussing today has to do with the company Costco and its recent clashes with the Trump administration. The article's title, and I'll link it below, is Costco Sues the Trump Administration to Secure Tariff Refund Eligibility. The retailer joins a group of companies filing lawsuits. This article highlights the recent tariff trouble that we've all heard about and what companies are possibly doing to fight it. The article starts by reporting that Costco has filed a federal lawsuit against the U.S. government, challenging the legality of the newly imposed tariffs that President Trump has said are an attack on other countries for their unfair trade policies. These tariffs that were enacted under the Emergency Economic Authority sharply increased Costco's import prices, and this was particularly true for imports sourced from China, Mexico, and Canada, which were three heavily hit countries by the tariffs. In this article, Costco argues that the administration exceeded its authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and the company is seeking refunds, reparations for tariffs that it has already paid and lost. Simultaneously, the retailer has argued that it has been forced to reconfigure its supply chains, considering raising retail prices and pressure overseas suppliers for price reductions. All in turn, these have been very negative for Costco, and this could cause a trickle-down effect, as Costco is a company that many smaller businesses rely on to get their products from as well. The main reason why I found this article so interesting is that a major retailer suing the federal government is very interesting and highly unusual. This shows how economically important this was for Costco and its business strategy of maintaining a high quality, low costs for consumers. This article also highlights how politics, economics, supply chains, and business strategy all are highly important and intertwined in a very specific way. This issue is important as it exposes how vulnerable supply chains are to issues such as political shocks. This lawsuit could limit potential presidential authority on trade and how it affects our supply chains in the future. So far, this shows that Costco depends heavily on global imports, in which the tariffs dispute. This is a real example of supply chain vulnerability, which prompts resilient strategies and diversification for inventory buildup for Costco in the future. This hurts Costco because it builds off a cost leadership strategy, which is tightly controlled costs, low operating margins, and industry-leading purchasing power. So far, these tariffs have forced Costco to absorb the cost, in the future possibly raise prices and build their supply chain. This all goes into Porter's 5 forces of their supplier power, the buyer's power, threat of substitutes, threat of new entrants, and industrial rivalry. The biggest players here are the supplier power, buying power, and its threat of substitutes, as if consumers are unable to afford Costco products, they may have to go to slightly cheaper and dollar store alternatives. Overall, this article provides an example of how a global retailer might adapt to risks that have to do with political and economic forces that could lead to sudden supply chain shifts. This lawsuit and operational response demonstrate how firms leverage their legal tools, supply chain resilience, their negotiations, and strategic risk management to defend their business models. Thank you.